Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. That's it for today's video. So it is the last of the bourbon counties that I have this year. I am trying to get the props still, but I'm super excited for this because yesterday in real life, I don't know how I'll post these, I had the Angel's Envy, which was amazing. Like, it really blew my mind. So I'm super excited to try another one of these special ones from them. So this is the Eagle Rare version. The originators of Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout, crafted with our friends to celebrate our unique American heritage. Develops up to 5 years, made for those who reach higher. Yeah. Nice packaging. Like a classy Pringles can. Let's see. So in case you weren't able to get it, I'll read everything. So if you're not interested in what all this packaging says, just fast forward. So let's see. Bourbon County brand 2-year reserve stout. At Goose Island, we proudly stand as pioneers of bourbon barrel-aged stouts. As the creators of this style, we embrace our heritage and the essence of something that is undeniably uniquely American. With a rich craft beer history rooted in Chicago, we are steadfast in our commitment to producing the finest barrel-aged stouts. From the carefully selected American oak barrels sourced from our bourbon partners in Kentucky to the distinct combination of our unique climate and original imperial stout recipe crafted here in Chicago, Bourbon County brand 2-year reserve stout epitomizes a proud American legacy. After 2 years of aging in these extraordinary Eagle Rare 10-year-old barrels, something truly special happens. With each sip, you'll taste the culmination of our passion, intricately woven together with the nuanced flavors imparted by these remarkable barrels. Bourbon County brand 2-year reserve stout is an incredibly complex and boldly rich stout that celebrates the essence of American brewing at its finest. And then looks like about Eagle Rare Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. In the late 1700s, Kentucky settlers pioneered the crafting of a spirit that would become an enduring symbol of American tradition, bourbon. Embodying the pioneering spirit of those early settlers, Eagle Rare 10-year bourbon proudly carries forth this rich legacy. Today, nestled along the banks of the Kentucky River in Frankfort, Kentucky, Eagle Rare is distilled at Buffalo Trace, the oldest operating distillery in the United States. With unwavering dedication, each batch of Eagle Rare is masterfully crafted and aged for a minimum of 10 years in new charred American oak barrels. Every barrel is carefully selected to ensure a remarkable level of consistency and quality. With a heritage rooted in authenticity and a commitment to craftsmanship, Eagle Rare captures the essence of American history with its Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Aged in Eagle Rare bourbon barrels, and they're 10-year barrels again. And I think that's everything. All right. Should I leave this up here? That is really cool. The Angel's Envy I didn't leave up on the table here, but whatever. Doesn't matter at all. Got some nice head on it. Let's see. 14.5% ABV. It looks like it was bottled on September 3rd. Yeah, it definitely looks like Bourbon County. It's got that. I feel like I'm mostly broken record on these because I start with, it's black with some brown in there. The backyard, had a little bit of a different hue because of the addition of berries. But yeah, I mean, definitely looks like Bourbon County. I wouldn't say the 2 years of aging, made it much darker or anything. Probably about half a finger ahead when I poured it, maybe a little bit more. A mocha to dark mocha color, relatively compact bubbles. Looks like Bourbon County is the short version. Let's see what it smells like. Definitely smells different than the base. You get much more spirit and oak. You get more barrel, which makes perfect sense. At least on the aroma, because you get more barrel, you lose some of the. And this is a different base stout than this year's Bourbon County base, so you're not comparing, apples to apples anyway. But anyway, I think the extra barrel aging is rewarding you with more barrel characteristic, but you don't get as much of like the chocolate, for example, that the stout brings. So if that matters to you, like if you like a really barrel forward, barrel aged stout, at least in the aroma, you're definitely being rewarded with that. The oak The tannin specifically, it's incredible how much it's coming through without being too much or too woody or just kind of like, is this a box of toothpicks you open? Like it is so nicely interwoven with what's there while still standing out on its own. I do get some dark chocolate, some caramel, slight vanilla from the barrel. Man, it just smells a little spiciness, like baking spices. It smells great. It smells really good. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. Wow. Wow. This is so big yet so smooth. In the taste, I get way more chocolate than the aroma. Not that I was nervous, because I do like, bourbon. Like I like the spirit aspect of this kind of a beer, but so much of the aroma was that thing. And like I talked about with the aroma, at the loss of the chocolate, I'm getting more of the spirit in the barrel. But man, the taste, you still get that chocolate, the caramel and stuff that I want. This aftertaste still has that stuff also, so it's, it's a pretty long part of the sip into after the sip. But you do get, it's just so nicely, I want to use the word hit, but like that makes it sound harsh or something. You do get so much more barrel and spirit, like the aroma, not overly done though. Like it's not, at you're not losing anything else you want in the beer, or at least that I want in the beer. Unlike the aroma, where I did lose some of the stuff and how easy it was to smell certain other things, but not in the sip. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really nice because I talked about the Angel's Envy one too. I was disappointed by the Bananas Foster and the Backyard. And if you watch, year after year, I post videos of like all the bourbon counties and the variants, and like I'm almost always singing praises, So the fact that 2 of the 5 that I've had this year were letdowns, like that's not normal for me, and that sucked, right? So the fact that these ones, the base and these 2 that were in Pringles can in a box are so good is awesome. The wood that comes through, it's its own thing, but it's also very interwoven with the spirit and a nice sweetness also. And I think that's part of why this is smooth to me. It hides the alcohol pretty well. And because I've had some barrel aged stouts that have been aged a long time in barrels, and sometimes it almost gets a little chewy with the wood. So that this is 2 years in 10-year old spirits, or aged for 10 years spirits. The fact that you don't have any of that is just, to me, remarkable. It's great. This is a great sip. Some cherry and some sherry. Maybe even a little bit of strawberry. Because it's very different than the Angel's Envy. And that one I got a lot of cherry and raspberry. Whereas the cherry I'm talking about here, and like that little bit of strawberry thing, it does drink different. Like that one, it was so obvious from the port. Maybe a little bit of the base stout. Maybe a little bit of the base stout here, and how it's being expressed differently. I talk about this in other reviews, where like maybe I say orange in a West Coast IPA and orange in a New England style IPA, and they do not taste the same. But the closest thing I can think of to say is orange to convey the flavor profile, It's a similar thing here with this cherry note. It is completely different than that Angel's Envy cherry, but it's, for me, cherry. Almond, for sure, that like almond paste. There's something else familiar tied. It's the marzipan thing for sure, but there's something else tied to that sweetness that's very familiar. It's desserty. It's not fruit, I don't think, and I'm having a hard time pinpointing it. It's not the chocolate. It's different than the almond. It's different than the chocolate. Doesn't seem particularly fruity, which doesn't leave a lot of dessert stuff. Maybe something in the vanilla wheelhouse. I don't know. There's something else familiar here, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to pull it. And I imagine this review is already relatively long. Yeah, I think this is fantastic. Especially, at the price point, it's $40. So the fact that Angel's Envy and the Eagle Rare were both $40, and I love both of them, is really awesome because, $22, so almost half the price. But of the Bananas Foster in the backyard, I didn't think were that good. The more I think about them, the more I get upset that I spent money on them. That much money on them, I should say. But anyway, yeah, this is awesome. Like, this is fantastic. And you'll have to watch my ranking video to see which one I like the most, and versus this, the Angel's Envy. Angel's Envy or the base. But yes, this is awesome. Have you guys had this one before? Have you had any other ones? Anything Bourbon County related, adjacent to different stout aged in Eagle Rare barrels you've had? Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews, both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.